Today I am ranking every single Pokemon card from the original base set from worst to the best purely based off of artwork. And we have 102 cards to look at, so let's not waste any time here. Starting off with the worst cards in this set, and to no surprise I am starting with the energy cards. But they do still have an order which goes as follows, and I am absolutely unwilling to change my mind on this. We have Fighting, Grass, Psychic, Colourless, Water, Electric and Fire. The only thing that is worse than a fighting energy is people that aren't yet subscribed to my channel. But non-sub shaming aside, with 7 cards out of the way and 95 to go, let's discuss the trainers. There are 26 trainer cards in this set and some of them feature fantastic artwork, but in my personal opinion you cannot compare the trainers to the actual Pokemon cards in this set. So in order of worst to best we have as follows. Energy removal, super energy removal, de-evolution spray, energy retrieval, revive, full heal, item finder, super potion, a normal potion, which, is it just me that thinks this looks so much better than a super potion? Plus power, defender, computer search, scoop up, gust of wind, which, because it has leaves in it, beats scoop up, poker flute, and switch. Which leaves me with the top 10 trainer cards, and although sat at 70th to 80th position, these cards aren't to be slept on. Taking off the top 10 is Maintenance, followed by the Pokemon Breeder. Anyone that breeds Pokemon is just simply not to be trusted. Next is Bill, a much more iconic card of the set, but he does give me Randall from Recess vibes. Pokemon Center is next, followed by Clefairy Doll. This reminds me of the old school N64 graphics. Then it's everyone's favourite professor, Professor Oak, followed by Imposter Oak. Down to the last 3 trainers, and the Pokedex is next because I'm a nerd and it looks cool. 71 is the Pokemon Trader. Anyone with a Farfetch'd is good with me and he's just so happy. Which leaves number 70 last. I love the background of this card and it really stands out from all the other trainer cards in this set. We are now through 32 out of 102 of our cards, just under a third of the way through the list, but now it is time to get into the big guns, the actual Pokemon. I am fully ready to see the pitchforks in the comments for this list, but I am voting the worst Pokemon card in this set as the Starmie. I'm sorry, but it just looks computer generated and the card has next to zero personality. I love Starmie as a Pokemon, but the card stinks. Up next is another Pokemon I love, but who sat on his face? Haunter just looks so derpy, and I've tried to love it, but I just can't. And that leads me into the next Pokemon, which is Ghastly. And I know, I love the Gengar line, but I just hate the graffiti, and to be honest, I hate everything about this card. We've got a lot more cards to go through, so I'm going to reel off these next few Pokemon. Metapod, Porygon, Kakuna, Staryu, Onix, Poliwag, Ponyta, Sandshrew, Pidgey, Nidoran Male, Magnemite, Dugtrio, Diglett, Jinx, Voltorb, Magmar and Raticate. We have now hit the top 50, so please let me know in the comments below if your favourite base set card has made my top 50. Starting off the top 50 is Caterpie, followed by Seal, Vulpix, Poliwhirl and Kadabra. In 45 we are going to see our first holo card, which may be controversial, but the Magneton could have been done so much better, maybe even just some electricity coming off it, or just something to make this card a little bit better. Which is why number 44 edges it with Electabuzz, just to prove that simple details can make a massive difference. Followed by Growlithe, Drowsy, Nidorino, Machoke, and 39 we are going to see our first starter evolution with Wartortle. It just feels lackluster, it could have been done better. Then we have Farfetch, Pidgeotto, Ivysaur, Electrode, which kind of reminds me of the graphics you get at 10-pin bowling. 34 is Dratini, followed by Charmeleon, Doduo, which is the only card in motion in this set, Dugong, Machop, Magikarp, Coughing, Weedle, and the next 2 cards are going to get me a whole load of smoke in the comments, I already know it. But in 25th and 24th is going to be Clefairy and Chansey. I do like both these cards, but I just can't put them higher as they're mainly just grey cards and the pink on the Pokemon just doesn't stand out enough for me. In 23rd, I'm putting Rattata. I love the way this card looks and the environment for the Pokemon fits perfectly. 22nd is Tangela, and then one of my favourite Pokemon, Arcanine, which leaves us now with the top 20. Starting off with the fans' favourite, the Pikachu. I mean, this card is just simply iconic. It's one of the greats. Next up is Beedrill, Charmander and Squirtle. Squirtle got the edge simply because he's blowing bubbles everywhere. And now this is where some people may flip, but I am putting Venusaur in 16th. There is something about this card I just don't like. It's probably his feet. Next is the Abra, and I love this card. Sitting under a tree with the stars in the background, I think is perfect. Hitting number 14 is Hitmonchan. 13 is going to be Bulbasaur, which I think is the perfect example of what a starter Pokemon card should look like. It's playful, it's vibrant, it's a brilliant card. Which means we are just left with one non-holo card, but we aren't ready to see that just yet. No, in 12th I have put Poliwrath, followed by the last card outside the top 10, Alakazam. He may have 5,000 IQ, but he's not in my top 10. Kicking off the top 10 is number 151 himself, Mewtwo. Number 9 is going to be Blastoise, a great card, but I feel like they could have given him a more attacking position for the card just to make him look a little bit better. 8 is going to be Nidoking. The different colours in the background really make this card stand out. 7 is a Pokemon who doesn't get the love it deserves because of its pre-evolution, Raichu. A fantastic card and a fantastic Pokemon. 6 is going to be Gyarados. I myself am a massive Gyarados fan and I wish I could have put him up a little bit higher, but the last 5 cards are just better. In 5th place is the final non-holo card of this ranking, the Dragonair. The Aurora in the background and the majesty of Dragonair make this card too good to not make my top 5. 4th place is going to be the only legendary bird featured in this set, Zapdos. The yellow lines coming off the Zapdos really remind me of that feeling of when you encounter a legendary Pokemon in the games. Now for the final 3 cards, we are left with the Charizard, the Ninetales and the Machamp. And in number 3 is going to be Machamp. I love this card and I'm glad it is one of the cheaper cards in the set due to the overprinting. The spiral blue and brown background are just simply stunning and fully deserves to take number 3. In number 2, and I can already hear the pitchforks coming my way, is going to be the Charizard. Charizard is probably, if not the most famous card in all of Pokemon history, but for me it's been edged by the Ninetales. This card is so incredibly slept on. The yellow of Ninetales against the red background, the bluey black flames in the back of the card. I cannot figure out why this card is so cheap and I will never understand it because for me this is the best base set card in the entire set. That rounds off my list and I'm expecting pitchforks, I'm expecting some fire in the comments, but either way I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you did make it to the end, please leave a thumbs up and comment your top 10 base set cards because I want to be able to judge with you. My name has been pokemontcg and I'll be back with some more Pokemon content very soon.